strap in and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. It's an unbelievable time here. It is hotter than hell outside the podcast penthouse today, but we're nice and cool like Han Solo and Carbonite here at the palatial podcast penthouse, and I have my esteemed colleagues around the panel right here. I'm going to start off on my left, the one and the only Quincy Briscoe.
And how we doing? Everyone have a good fourth?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't as good as the fifth.
No.
Yeah, not as good as the fifth.
No. Very wet.
South Boston Jeff is in his house.
What's happening? It's great to be here.
Little clouded conversation hosts himself right there. And of course, the host with the most on Spotify, my mentor, the one and the only, the host of Ricky Bittman's Jukebox exclusively on Spotify.
Up and away here.
Up and away!
It's a very hot day.
Yes! Yeah.
Ricky Bittman.
I was telling all the peons out on Facebook tonight. Oh, thank you. The live audience said they're in a good mood tonight.
They're in a good mood indeed.
I was telling everybody I was getting ready to put my feet up to watch Bad News Bears and the Winnie Bagel.
Which one?
The original.
The original
number one. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to swing by the studios and see what's going on. So I think I made the right choice.
You did.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a tough choice.
It is. That is a
Hanging
great
around
movie.
with Quincy Briscoe or watching Kelly Leak.
That's right. Two of my heroes.
And they both ride motorcycles.
That's right.
Yeah, motorcycles are good as long as you follow directions.
Well, this kid, he was a little fresh on his motorcycle, if you remember.
That is true.
He used to ride across the Little League field, wreak havoc.
Yeah, and then what did he do? He got hurt, right?
He ran into the wall.
He ran into the wall and then became a superstar athlete.
That lesbian grabbed him.
That's Dick Van Patten's sister.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that Dyke Van Patten? I was looking for the rim shot on that one.
Yeah, but well, there's a safety thing. Don't try these stunts to all the brand new.
I shouldn't have even said that. I'm sorry.
We shouldn't
I'm
have
going to
brought
say
that.
it. Don't try these stunts at home.
That'll be
Don't
cut
be
out
a
in
daredevils.
post.
Otherwise, you're going to wind up in the hospital.
There we go. Oops, did Quincy's microphone just go mute? No, wrong one. See, we have a new toy down here at
Yeah,
the
we're playing
penthouse
around.
band. We got some special effects going on, so you may hear some random special effects. You know what? Let's go through the special
Wait a
effects
minute,
right
is this
now.
new as of today?
This I haven't used it yet.
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually been
All right,
sitting
all
here for 5 years, but we've never used it.
And I don't think I ever looked at it once.
All right, so we now, for those of you out there who are podcasters like ourselves, right, we are using the Rodecaster.
Wow.
And the Rodecaster has built-in sound effects. Now, I looked actually through the manual not too long ago. We can actually change these to whatever we want. We can actually add our own if we wanted to.
Does this microphone work?
What?
Does this microphone work? I guess not.
I can't hear you, no.
I'll have to fix this microphone.
Uh-oh. every time Quincy talks, you know what I hear in my head? All right, so let's go. Before we get into the topics of our podcast, all right, let's kill that. We have a little special effects generator, like I mentioned out there. Let's go through. It's all color coded. It kind of reminds you of the game Simon.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, when you were a kid, it has these buttons.
Simon.
Beep.
So we got a red button, an orange button, a yellow button, a green button. What kind would that be? Like
Fuchsia.
fuchsia?
Yeah.
A fuchsia button.
Yep.
Blue, purple, and pink.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with the orange button. See what it is. Hey, it's a generic introduction song.
Intro.
Welcome to the sound effects generating portion of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tugboat Thomas.
All right, so now let's try the, what is it? What would we say? That's the orange button?
Yep.
Little canned laughter there, huh?
I hear that noise when I see dried leaves blown across the sidewalk.
Do you? All right, let's see what the
children laughing.
let's see what the yellow one is. Oh yeah.
I get the clap.
From who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Must have been that Van Patten woman.
All right, let's see what the green one does. Anytime Bull walks in a room. All right, we have the what did you say? What is it? Fuchsia?
Fuchsia.
The fuchsia one. Let's see what the fuchsia one is.
That's my favorite.
Ah, it's a rim shot. All right, one more time.
Why did the priest cross himself?
Why?
To get to the other side.
We'll call that the Annie button, Jeff, right? For the
Seriously, like I said, tell these kids don't try these stunts at home on their bikes.
The rim shot, baby. Yeah, I got you.
Now we got the purple one. Let's see what the purple one is.
A little bit like the Twilight Zone.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries,
Quincy Briscoe.
the man, the myth, the legend. All right. Purple.
That's our crickets.
It's the crickets.
Where's Buddy Holly?
Crickets.
When you need him.
It's relaxing, though.
It is.
It's like
Kind
a
of peaceful.
It's like a Bob Ross show.
Yeah, like a little white noise going
All
on
right.
there.
One more time. Jiminy Cricket out
Yeah.
there. Good for it. That's a little Disney plug.
Howard Cunningham would say, Jiminy Crickets.
You ever see Chevy
going
Chase do
on
his
here?
Jimmy Cricket?
All right,
Howard
let's-
Cunningham.
Now in the final one in the color coding here, it's like the it's like I said, it looks like the game of Simon. Also on Land of the Lost. Remember the pylons, little thing we
pylons,
can move
yeah,
around the little
the
discs there?
crystals.
All right, let's see what this last one is.
That's a good one. Let me when I laced somebody's mushrooms or something. Like when I laced somebody's candy, or like.
Jeff, what are you putting on Quincy's Pizza over there?
Pepperonis.
Pepperoni.
All right, so you may randomly hear those throughout the program. They're going to become annoying, just like the man to my left. But I'm only kidding, Quince. All right, so we talked about it. We had the 4th of July, right? And it
Yes.
came and went, but it was a very wet one in
Oh, it
this
was
area.
the worst ever for me anyway. I mean, I was up in Maine on the coast, and it just rained. I mean, the rain was coming up out of the street.
Really?
It was the most rain I have ever seen in my life in one entire weekend. Constant. Sun didn't come out until the 5th of July.
It was like you were living in Seattle.
Yeah, I said that to Tosh. I said, how do people do it? Because, I like to think I'm stronger than that the weather doesn't affect me to that degree, but it really does. I was kind of being a real jerk the whole weekend, to be honest with you. If you can imagine that, folks.
So the entire this sound effect sums up the entire 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
That was it.
There was no fireworks. It was not the...
Well, a safe one then.
That's a boring one.
Yeah, so I like fireworks. I like the I also like to be outside. I mean, we were in the hotel room all morning, and then we go to the house. We were staying with some friends at the house. They have right on the water. You go to the house. You're in the house. You're just always inside.
It's like having a Thanksgiving without a turkey.
Exactly.
I suppose, yeah, but if no one wanted to spend money on fireworks, too expensive, or too dangerous, or outlawed, or all three, right?
Well, so you know what the problem we had? The fireworks usually get lit off on the beach, and the tide was so high we couldn't light them off on the beach because the water was coming up to the wall, and that you can't really plan for that. So we have to save them for Labor Day.
I think there should be a rule that if the 4th of July is a washout, you get the following week to do it again.
I think so.
You know what? Why not?
I'm ready to go, but I might tell you, I can't afford another hotel stay.
Now, how come you didn't bring the Winnebago up there?
Because Tosh didn't want it. She said, I want to stay in a hotel for a little different.
What's different? It's a bed and you're inside.
Hey, dames.
And you spent how much on that
A
hotel?
lot. I didn't even dip into my podcast money. I had to take that out of my own
So
bank
basically
account.
what you're saying is your bank account is...
Right now it feels that way. Got to get that money. We got to get, what is it? What's that restaurant over in Somerville? Why am I not thinking of it?
The Mount Vernon?
The Mount Vernon. They sponsored an episode.
Did they?
Yeah,
well,
gonna
that's
have to
what
get
they have the Twin Lobster specials.
The Mount Vernon restaurant.
I used to love the onion blossom there.
Hey, it's still open.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, well,
Of course,
you know,
and I still go for the brunch, the Sunday brunch all the
that
time.
was the
Fantastic
Yeah.
brunch. Fantastic brunch. The
I-
Mount Vernon restaurant.
I was there once with Cousin Leo. You had to do a pickup, and I saw 2 waitresses. One of them looked like Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and they were fighting. Who took my meatball?
I left it right there.
Who took my meatball?
I was buying scratch tickets.
It's not that funny, all right? So that's what you did. You pretty much watched everybody watched the rain come down.
Yeah.
But that was but did you have fun anyway?
I did. We played a little music trivia, the Ricky Bittman's music trivia game.
Right, which is always a fun time.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of people like to play that. Went down to the Front Porch Pub in Ogunquit and had the live piano players. And we brought the house down with 2 songs, Africa by Toto, and Those Were the Days.
You mean
All in the
theme
Family?
of Archie Bunker?
No, the one that goes, Once upon a time there was a tavern. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. You ever heard of one? We'd sing and laugh forever and a day. Fight and never lose. Na, 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 na. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days.
Did you get an applause like that?
Oh my God, yeah. The whole place. We brought the house down.
Standing room only.
I wish I could remember the cat's name who was playing the piano.
It was a cat playing the piano.
Well, you know, that's how us hep
Oh,
cats
that's like
call it.
jazz people.
man.
Yeah.
At one
Cool
point,
cat.
he puts his feet up on the piano while he's drinking a whiskey drink, and he's literally playing the song with one hand. Just like
Talented man.
He's very talented.
What was
I'm
his
gonna-
name?
I'm going to have to get his name for the next episode. I should have brought it. I had it at home.
It's not like something like Bill or anything.
No, it's kind of a smooth, cool name.
All right.
I'm telling you right now, he brought the house down.
Awesome.
He really did. But other than that, there was no getting up early in the morning, going for walks, that type of stuff. Reading the New York Post outside, none of that stuff.
None of that stuff. Watching the waves come in.
I brought my DVD player and I hooked
Well,
it up and I watched
high with the waves.
the honeymooners.
around
The
here.
waves were huge at night.
You mean like, well, how high?
Well, they hit the wall, and then they would splash up and onto the deck.
Not life-threatening, though.
My buddy Jeff Spicoli liked those waves.
Yeah, some cool waves. And what is it?
battle some humongous waves.
Where'd you get this jacket?
I got it from the network.
Well, as long as it wasn't life-threatening, then...
No life threatening. Thank God, nobody got hurt.
It was not life-threatening, Quincy. I know you were very concerned.
But there were high waves.
Oh, yeah, really? Well, was
Well,
Jeff
look at
there?
the bright side. You get water to drink now and water
true.
to shower with and everything, right?
Awesome.
And I had a good steak, too.
You had a good steak?
Yeah, good sirloin
You know,
steak.
I had a barbecue over at the mansion
Nice.
in South Boston. Jeff was there. Quincy Briscoe was there. You know who showed up out of nowhere? Colonel Bull Montana.
Oh, boy.
He somehow he
Now,
got
what did he bring?
himself.
Yeah, well, an expression I like. My new expression for somebody who don't bring anything to a get-together is, "Oh, he came in with his arm swinging." That's my that's my new that's my new
That's
thing.
a good one. He had his arm swinging, all
Didn't know
right.
what his arm swinging.
He enjoyed himself. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Cousin Leo got paroled, and he was there.
Oh, my buddy cousin Leo. It's been ages.
He made some lemon flavored chicken.
Oh, I bet that was good. He can cook.
It was tasty.
It was lemon flavored chicken, but it was about a million degrees standing next to that grill, though.
That's like a Mediterranean dish. Right
Mediterranean dish.
there. Lemon with the chicken. That's a nice.
Well, he is from Italy. His
Yeah,
family is
no.
from Italy, so he knows how to do all that stuff. He kind of reminds me of. For those of you who don't know my cousin Leo, you can go on our YouTube channel and go back many, many years and see him on the TV version. He's been away for a while.
Yeah.
A little, what was it like? Well, how they used to say, like a state-paid vacation.
Yeah, we do it a couple dimes.
He was away for a while, and he goes, "Remember that scene in Goodfellas when they were cutting the garlic and whatnot? Just, I'm better than them. I cooked for the entire jail film.
I bet he is.
He is fantastic. Remember that turkey he made that
Oh,
one
my
time?
God, are you kidding? Of course I do.
See, I don't know why he doesn't get a job. I hate cooking. I hate people.
You ever notice the people who do it the best hate doing it?
He could have made a fortune doing that legally.
Cousin Leo's.
cousin Leo's.
I'd eat there.
I'd eat there every day. You
Cousin
kidding me?
Leo's in the North End, so
Yeah.
something like that.
Wouldn't that be great?
So if you're listening out there, cousin Leo, you do need to do a cooking show.
Yeah.
Or just cook for us. That's all we ask for.
We'll go to his house and he'll do a cooking show and we'll talk to him while he's cooking.
That's right. Well, he loves to talk.
Yeah. Bert Kreischer used to do that. He used to have people in his kitchen.
Who?
Bert Kreischer is a comedian.
Oh.
He'd have people in his house and he would cook while they're hanging out and they would drink and it was pretty funny. Dave Attell, Gilbert Gottfried, and him made fish and chips one night. That's a podcast.
There you go. That sounds like
That's a podcast you gotta check
That
out.
sounds like a delicious episode.
Podcast and making fun of the Holocaust. I mean, Gilbert and Dave Attell and Bert Kreischer. Well, how much funnier
Well,
can
they
you get?
can. They're Jewish, so
They're
they
of the
can get away
tribe,
with
yeah.
it. They can get away with it.
Everyone knows Gilbert.
Oh, actually, something very cool happened at that cookout and everything. For something very historic.
What was that?
Well, our friend Quincy and everything got to see my all-time favorite movie for the first time.
That is correct.
What did you think of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Wow.
I like it. I was watching a couple of different ones. Was it
couple
the
of
one
different
that where they were at the hospital? Is that the one?
Yes,
Yes.
that
I
was
like
it.
it.
Yeah, I
Wasn't that a
mean,
good one?
that had two from the Sunshine Cab. What'd you think of that?
I love that, and it also had
Okay. Who? Let's see if you can pick them out because they're kind of young looking at the time. Who in that movie in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest worked at the Sunshine Cab Company?
how you pronounce your name.
No, they were all men inside that.
Okay. Oh, I did know his name, but now I just forgot his name. Laka.
Louis De Palma, you
Louis
are
De
right.
Palma,
Yeah,
God,
Danny
Louis.
DeVito, one of his very first roles.
Right. And who was the second member of the Sunshine Cab Company that was institutionalized in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Tablations.
Come on, play the game.
Oh, Ignatowski.
Ignatowski. I'm playing the
And
game.
here's a bonus that I sort of picked up on, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
Hong Kong Parade, another one
Wow,
super
that's
guy. And he also was in oh, Ed Brown, how we doing? One from Chico and
and the Man.
The man, yep. Yeah, a little Scatman Crothers for you. I saw the
Saturday.
when he got on screen. I saw that his face light up and everything. He was like, "Oh, is that?"
Now, was that the name of the guy, the jazz thing you were just talking about? Would that be a cool name for him? The Jazz Scat Man?
Yeah, Scatman. I think that's
That
how
was
he.
like some kind of product. He was like product. He was commercializing Zazaray, some kind of a sauce that you put all over rice and noodles and everything.
I have no idea. Maybe
I think I think there
It
was
is.
a commercial with him in it.
I'll
Yeah.
have to look that up.
I'm telling you the truth. It is
I didn't think you were-
Zazaray.
I didn't think you were lying.
Zazaray.
Something to the effect. And if anyone remembers that, it's yours truly.
All right.
Because I grew up with with him in those three roles.
Okay, there you go.
He was the best.
So that was on 4th of July.
But that's a great
And
movie.
it
to
was
watch
a
on the
fun
4th of
one.
July.
But it wasn't actually on the 4th, it was on the 5th.
But even still, that's a great way to
It
celebrate.
was a fun way to come together and have some fun, be with some fans.
and we just lost Louise Flesher not too long ago.
That's right. Jeff and I were talking about, we've met so many people in that movie in person.
Wow. Yeah, that's
We met, obviously, Danny DeVito,
right.
Christopher Lloyd. Jeff has met Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
Louise Flesher, Nurse Ratched. We met the Chronic, the bald guy that was,
Michael
comatose.
Berryman. Michael Berryman.
Berryman,
Hills Have Eyes.
who was in Weird Science.
Weird Science. Yep.
We met the two girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Muse Small played Candy, and the other one was the other one, Louisa Moritz. We were trying to figure out. She was in a few movies, like she was in Up in Smoke. But I just realized she played one of the nurses on MASH.
Did she?
Ah,
Wow.
yeah.
And Jeff called her a sea hag
Yeah,
to her face.
yeah. I wish I could have taken that one back. I would really I have autographs from all these people, but I don't have her because I spent all my money on whiskey sours that day, and
And of course, Billy Bibbit we've met.
Billy Bibbit, yeah. Very, very prolific roles.
Brad
he's had.
Dourif.
Yeah.
Voice of Chucky.
Now, Nurse Pilbo.
Oh, yeah.
She was in a couple other movies as a nurse, though. Was it The Right Stuff? She was in another movie as a nurse. I remember
I'll have
seeing-
to look that
I think
up.
it's The Right Stuff. She plays a bit, and I was like, wow, she was a nurse in Cuckoo's Nest, too.
That's weird you said it, because even Cousin Lee goes, you've ever met Miss Dildo over there?
The thing about one who flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Nobody's
Is this
gonna
all
slip
true
me.
that blood and they tried to commit suicide and try to kill each other?
well, it was not a true story, but it is based on events that happened back in the day. It is not a true story, but
It's semi-true then.
well, it's not a true story, but they really gave people shock treatment
that was
and
that was a-
lobotomies.
Okay, then how come? Let me ask you this.
Here's a question. Why are you yelling?
Yeah.
Because
He's
I
excited.
don't know. I think it's true that one tried to commit suicide. You saw all the blood.
Well, it's a movie, Quincy, all right? It's not a documentary. I mean, it could be based on some truth like Jeff said over there, but it's not an actual movie. It's not a true story.
Well, he was driven to suicide by that bitch of a nurse.
Yeah, because she was going to tell his mother
his
that he
mother.
got laid.
Yeah. Imagine that.
because it was all a game to her and everything, and she was losing.
Play the game. Play the game, Harding.
Play the game.
Now, Jeff, I always want to ask you.
playing the game.
I want to ask you this. You know all about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Sure.
Is that scene where Jack Nicholson is getting shock treatments? Did he actually go through that? Was he method acting? Did he actually do that?
No,
'Cause-
he did not actually get a shock treatment.
Then he won his Academy Award for a reason,
Yeah.
because I actually thought when he was
Yeah.
convulsing on the table, that was real.
That rubber thing they put his
Yeah,
mouth was so
the
scary.
man can act, especially in that movie. When he was trying to lift the sink up, when he was trying to, like you said, when he was getting his shock therapy. I never seen any acting like that in my life.
What was you'll know the actor's name, the one that played the I do, Mac. I want to go with you. Who was that guy?
That is Sidney Lassick. Cheswick.
Cheswick. The last movie I think I saw him in was Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
He was also
yeah, he
in
was in that.
Man on the Moon with
he was
the doctor with the
Oh,
crystals.
that's right. So that would be the last movie that I saw him in.
Crystals.
This one's very good for potency.
He played one of Carrie White's teachers in Carrie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
So the guy's been around.
What was his character's name? Was it Martini?
No, it was Cheswick.
Charlie Cheswick. Right.
Nice shirt, Chesaroo.
I want my cigarettes.
Oh, I used that sound clip to make one of the first crank phone calls. This is before soundboards. I took that whole thing and I called Flanagan Supermarket in South Boston, and a woman answered in the courtesy booth. And she said, "Hello, Flanagan Supermarket. May I have my cigarettes, please, Miss Ratchet?" "Pardon? May I have my cigarettes, please, Miss Ratchet?" What brand? What gives you the damn right to keep our cigarettes piled up on your desk only to squeeze out a pack when you feel like it, huh? And the woman said, "Well, we keep the cigarettes in the courtesy booth because we have to."
My cigarettes!
Yeah, exactly. I want
my cigarettes!
So she just hung up on. But I was like, then I would go into work. I'd see her in the courtesy booth, and I had just done that. Now I'm strategically hitting the pause button, trying to listen. There's a lot going on, but
She's like, some asshole just called looking for
crazy
cigarettes.
woman.
I also saw another classic when I was helping my good friend here.
Okay, what was that?
Scooby-Doo.
No. This was like a license to drive.
Okay, for Quincy saw the movie License to Drive for the first time.
Wow, that
was
sounds like
like-
an '80s sex comedy. Isn't it?
Well, to me, like, it was kind of interesting because it was a teenager who got in trouble driving his parents' car without a license.
It starred the Corey Haim and Feldman.
Yeah, they don't even. Like Corey Feldman doesn't even remember doing that movie.
And it had Heather Graham. Remember, she was Roller Girl in Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah.
You know, we just had a fun time together.
And it had that song by Billy Ocean. Get out of my dreams.
Yeah, and into my car.
Get into my car.
Yeah. Good tune, Billy Ocean. Is he still alive?
I don't know if Billy Ocean's still alive.
Something tells me he passed away.
He also did the, what was the song that he did for Jewel of the Nile?
When the going gets tough.
That's right.
The
Tough get going.
Oh, that's
He's
what
still with us. He's still above ground at 73 years
That's
old.
what
Billy
Michael
Ocean.
Douglas singing. Going gets tough. The
Tough get going.
Going get rough.
And
His real name is Leslie Sebastian Charles, and he's a member of the British Empire. He got that MBE award.
Really?
Yeah.
He got knighted by the Queen?
Yeah.
He's a knight?
Well, MBE I think is different. I think it's called Member of the British Empire.
Oh, he's just a member. He's not a full-fledged Jedi Knight yet.
Caribbean Queen. Love really hurts without you. Red light spells danger, and when the going gets tough, those are his hits.
get going.
Yeah, I actually have the Jewel of the Nile soundtrack on vinyl and
Yeah, that's
everything.
the second one, right?
It's a
That's
pretty
the-
good. It's a pretty good soundtrack. Terrible movie.
Oh, that
very
movie
good.
was horrible.
Yeah.
Romancing the Stone is a classic. All right?
Right, yeah, you can't-
Fantastic.
Can't follow up with that. No,
well,
there wasn't even no Ira, and there wasn't even a jewel, no stone.
Did you
well,
notice
the guy was the jewel?
you know the story of Romancing the Stone. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who later went on to do Back to the Future.
Yes.
If that movie wasn't a hit, there would never been a Back to the Future.
Right.
But the studio wanted to make a sequel to that. You realize Romancing the Stone came out in March of 1984. Jewel of the Nile came out the following summer. That's how quick that movie was
I
made.
had no idea.
It came out in the summer of 85.
Wow.
So they kind of like really, I mean, they mailed that one in.
I think I saw Romancing the Stone in the theater. I saw the sequel on.
Oh, the sequel's horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Other than the song and that stupid music video they did for it, it's
like Crocodile Dundee too. I mean, like that same thing. Crocodile Dundee was a home run.
Yeah, you'd swear to God they had scenes that were ripped off from the Looney Tunes, like Danny DeVito in the chic outfit chasing after them in the camel. I'm gonna get you, Colton.
Yeah.
now watching him. Thank you very much, Hanna-Barbera.
What button was that?
That was the black one. Now, going back, you just saying you saw him in that movie and he was dressed in a turban like a sheik and whatnot. You know he was originally going to be Sallah in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Wow.
Oh, I heard of that.
Steven Spielberg wanted him to be Sallah, but he couldn't get out of his taxi contract to do it.
I think they chose right.
Oh, yeah. Danny DeVito is a comedic actor.
Yeah.
I mean, was Sallah a comedic actor in Raiders? Kind Kinda, but he
yeah.
would have been over the top.
Yeah, he would have been.
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, everyone, when you see Danny DeVito, you know you're seeing Danny DeVito.
Right. Even though if you don't know who he is, you know he's Danny DeVito.
Exactly.
You know what I just saw that was really interesting? Speaking of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I saw the original cast reading with Tom Selleck and Sean Young reading for Marion.
That's right.
Her name's Sean Young. What exactly are you doing?
Yeah, what are you singing?
The Tom Selleck theme to
Magnum PI? Oh, okay.
Magnum
That doesn't
PI.
sound anything like
I was just saying.
Magnum PI's. That's Magnum. I don't know what you were doing. Was it Magnum
The only
IP?
thing. That's the Tom Selleck.
Okay, that version you just did was the right version. I don't know what you were doing before.
Who plays the desk in that song?
That's you're thinking of his other song,
Oh,
Blue
that's
Bloods. Blue
Where they
Bloods.
play the desk.
He sits at the desk and I don't know his name in Blue Bloods.
I think you need some macadamia nuts.
Cashiers.
Okay, sorry, Cash. What was the guy's name on Magnum PI? Higgins.
Yeah.
He's the one. He was selling macadamia
He could have been
nuts.
Sala.
He could have been Mean Gene Oakland's brother.
Indeed.
The Well of the Souls is over there. But you're right, Jeff. Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, was originally cast as Indiana Jones. But once again, because the show was a hit, they wouldn't let him out of his deal, and the rest is history.
Now, was Romancing the Stone before or after Indiana Jones?
Oh, Romancing the Stone came out in March of '84,
Yeah.
and Indiana Jones came out in June of '81.
Okay, so that's like they were looking for that formula type.
Right. It was still.
Wasn't there a couple other movies like that? Richard Chamberlain was in one.
Oh yeah, High Road to China.
Yeah.
And then there was
Another one like
it had Sharon Stone in it.
Yeah.
Something.
I remember there was they were trying to copy that.
My brain right now.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Alan Quatermain.
That's it. I was gonna say Quest.
Alan Quatermain
Yeah.
and the Quest of the City of Gold or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
That was with Richard Chamberlain. You're right.
Yeah.
Was that book? That was after
It had to be
Shogun, right?
Oh, definitely. Shogun was on TV like in the late
Right.
70s.
So he became a big star after that. Well, he got a recurgence.
I think he's still around too.
Is he?
He's still above dirt.
The only movie I liked him in was The Towering Inferno.
I've been trying to find one. I like to watch that movie during the summer. I can't find it streaming anywhere. I don't want to buy it.
That brings up a cool subject. Movies you can only watch in the summertime.
I got a whole list of them.
All right, give me your top three.
Well, I just mentioned Bad News Bears, the original.
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay, why the summer? Because
I love watching it
Okay.
in the summertime, just like that hot, like at night when that's when if that was going to happen, that's when it would happen.
you
for me.
figure like in Close Encounters, it feels muggy.
It does. It really does. In
Well, you know why? Because
suburbia.
in reality, when they shot it down in Alabama, they were in that sound stage for the ending. It was so muggy, it rained inside the
Oh, my God,
inside
really?
the sound stage because that's how hot it was in Alabama.
I tell you that movie.
So Bad News Bears, Close
that one,
Encounters.
and let me see. What was, I definitely. You know what one? And I haven't seen it in forever, but I've been trying to see it for this summer. Is Roller Coaster.
Roller Coaster.
Yeah, with George Segal. Have you ever seen Roller Coaster with
No.
George Segal?
Is it about someone that rides a roller coaster?
It's about a guy who sabotages roller coasters. He's like a serial killer, but he only attacks roller coasters. And these awful accidents happen, and they try to catch him. And you never saw that? It was
No.
filmed in Sensorround. And I saw it in the theater as a kid where the whole theater was...
Really?
You'd get on the
Vibrated.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you'd
boy.
feel like you were on the roller coaster and everything. And he would put these little bombs, and they would show a close-up of the track. And the bomb would go off, and then the next thing you'd see is the track like this. So like when the wheel hit it, it goes flying.
Wow.
But it's not just that, but like any Irwin Allen disaster films, like Earthquake, Towering Inferno.
See, I didn't like Earthquake as much as all the other
Earthquake
ones.
was kind of thrown together.
Even though I was a big fan of what's her name from Dallas, Victoria Principal.
Yep.
She had that really weird afro,
that afro
in it.
in,
It was
yeah.
just like I was like, "Ugh."
But I always like Marjo Gordner.
And was Lauren Green in that one?
Yeah.
Okay, he was.
Yeah, he died. He fell out the window.
Too
no,
bad.
No, he died on in the chair in the garage.
Too bad for Lauren.
Yeah. But that Marjo Gordner guy with the, what do they call him, Geordie or something like that? He had the real long hair and then he put the blonde wig over it.
Was that the guy that was trying to join the army or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that
He
was
in the Coast Guard.
That was a very strange character.
It really was, and he meets a quick demise.
Yeah, that was
all
just.
of a sudden, it's like we
I'd
don't know
have to
what
go
we're
back
gonna
and
do with
watch
him.
that. That was like
Earthquake's a great movie. It is worth watching, but it doesn't hold a candle to Towering Inferno.
Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno.
Yeah. But I think Roller Coaster was also an Irwin Allen film.
All right, we'll have to look. Well, he created Lost in Space.
Timothy Bottoms was the villain,
Smith, I give up. You're impossible.
and George Siegel was the detective trying to.
All right, Jeff, your favorite movies you can only watch in the summertime.
Okay, I would have to say, a movie that's very hot and sweaty feeling is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Good one.
That's one of them. Jaws 2 is another one of them because the original is just played out and everything. So you pop in the second one. I just love the way they zap that shark in the second one. Come on!
All right, you big bastard. I got something for you now. That's it, right over here. Come on, open wide. Say yeah.
All right, I have a couple movies I can only watch in the summertime. Go ahead, Jeff.
And
What's
I
your-
guess the third one would probably be I don't know, Meatballs 2.
Meatballs 2. Meathead.
Yeah, right. Because we were introduced to the pot smoking alien.
That's
Meathead.
true. Okay, all right.
Meathead.
I get it.
I mean, for a bad movie that didn't. I mean, I find it more enjoyable than the first one, and it had better stars. It had Richard Mulligan. It had Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman as the bus driver. What's the name of that cute looking girl from Escape from Witch Mountain?
Kim Richards.
Kim Richards,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I had a crush on her when I was a little kid.
She was on Hello Larry, the spin-off of Different Strokes.
She turned into a hot mess.
Which you mentioned Jaws 2, the original daughter on Hello Larry was the girl who was screaming all the time in Jaws
That's
2.
right.
And she was also in Angel of the hooker story.
Oh, Donna Wilkes.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Donna Wilkes. I forgot her name. All right, I got three movies, and it's kind of cliches because they have the word summer in the title. But the first one would be Summer Rental with John Candy.
That's a good one.
I can only watch that.
Yeah.
And the next one is Summer School with Mark Harmon.
just saw that
Both
recently.
of those movies were directed by Carl Reiner.
I just saw those recently.
And
Yeah, Carl Reiner, huh?
Carl Reiner.
Jeez, I never knew that.
And the third one that I can only watch in the summertime, in the middle of the night, The Warriors.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that would have been one of mine.
That's the only time I can. I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it now.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, it was on VHS. The only time I would watch that is in the late July, early August. It's hot.
Yeah.
You get your window open because you can't afford air conditioning, and you hear the ruckus of the cars going by, and you put the Warriors in.
Yep.
Because I can just imagine what the humidity was like in those subways.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
During
New York
those
City
scenes.
subways. Jeez.
But those are the three movies. Quincy, what are your favorite three summer movies?
Well, Jaws 2 for one.
There you go.
All right, good choice.
Jaws 2
I
for
concur.
Look, Milliner, listen, you can't fool with the law. I know it's you tonight. I have an excellent description of this car. I could run you run right now and I could make a stick, but I'm not going to do that. Know why? I'm going to catch you in the act. When I do, I'm going to nail you but good.
Is that in Jaws too?
Happy birthday, Milliner. American Graffiti.
Oh, of course, American Graffiti. Where were you in '62? Wasn't that the tagline?
So is that another one you watch in the summer? American
Yeah,
Graffiti?
well, because that's a nice
excellent
summer night.
one,
They
yeah.
cruise around in the cars and the cops, drag races, and
I always watch that
Very
in
classic
September.
soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah, as they're heading back to school. So I always watch it in September. Like around Labor Day, I would watch American Graffiti.
Oh, you help me pick a third one.
I don't know. It's your
know,
summer. It's your summer viewing.
When summer's winding down, I don't know.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
Thanksgiving movie.
That's true. What am I thinking? How can I make that mistake?
Yeah, why not?
We'll come back to that, Quince. We'll let you
Okay.
ponder on your final
okay.
your final thing. But what we're
Okay.
going to do right now is we're going to take a big time commercial break, and we'll be right back after this timeout.
Do you love seafood? Hi, I'm Captain Dave Marciano, and I want to invite you to check out our new website, angelicaseafoods.com. Now you can get fresh local seafood shipped overnight from Gloucester's fishing families to yours. angelicaseafoods.com, the finest, freshest seafood New England has to offer.
From the boat to your door, get Angelica Seafood's premium seafood, sustainably caught and packaged at angelicaseafoods.com.
All righty, welcome back with a big-time commercial break. For all your seafood needs, go to angelicaseafoods.com. Our good friend from Wicked Tuna himself, Captain Dave Marciano, will ship you fresh seafood from Gloucester anywhere in the continental United States. But once again, during the commercial break, you took out this big piece of paper, Ricky Bittman.
Well, you know, I try to, tonight we didn't need any help at all. We just kind of rolled with it, and I think we did great. But I just was thinking, since it's so hot.
It is hot.
And what's your go-to cool-down summer food?
Cool-down summer food.
And I got a list here that we can add to or take away from.
Okay.
But I want to get one out of the way right now.
What's that?
Because this is every cookout, every barbecue you go, beach party, some kid is making s'mores. What's your take on s'mores, Jeff?
Yucky.
Okay, now we're all in agreement because I think we all said, though, you weren't too short, Quincy. You're kind of...
Yeah, because you're too messy, you know.
So you don't like them either?
Yeah, well, you said yourself, if the crackers doesn't hold a melted marshmallow, the chocolate...
The marshmallow doesn't melt the chocolate because it's not hot enough. The graham cracker is too high, too dry. They just... And I swear parents just give these to kids to make, just to give the kids something to do.
Just to shut them up.
Yeah, and the adults are stuck eating them, and the kids...
We'll go play cards, and the kids will make s'mores.
Make s'mores for your uncle. He loves them. No, he doesn't, all right? And your hands are dirty. You've been picking your nose all night. For
The only thing good in the s'mores, the only good thing is the Hershey bar.
Right.
And give me a thing of peanut butter so I can dip in it.
There you go. But now I like marshmallow, I like graham crackers, and I like Hershey bars, but together, sorry.
So it's a bad combination.
It is.
Too bad we don't have a boo thing on this one. Boo! There we go. Boo! Okay. There's our boo button.
So what's your go-to? I got ice cream, I got slush, popsicle, Italian ice, freeze pop.
Okay, obviously, so for what is my cool down food? 100% popsicles.
Popsicle, okay.
Orange popsicles.
Orange, okay. No. And I hear people arguing recently that that's the worst flavor. I said,
no,
that's the best.
The cherry flavor is the worst flavor.
Yeah.
I get the classic popsicle, you know, the yellow box.
Yeah.
And the 3 flavors, the cherry, the grape, and the orange.
There you go.
They always skim on the orange.
Yeah, they do.
I always end up, I have to, you know, I have a trick. When I open up the freezer and I take them out and I hold them up to the light to see through the transparent paper to get it. So I have boxes of popsicles. In them are ones that I won't eat the cherry ones.
I like popsicles. Those
I can't stand the cherry popsicles.
And you get the double with the 2 sticks or the single?
The single one.
Yeah.
The single
It's
one.
tough to find the doubles nowadays.
So popsicles.
Speaking of your favorite movie there, Quincy, American Graffiti, isn't that what happened when he went to see the Wolfman?
Yep.
That's right.
The freezer
Hey,
was
look,
broken.
Have a popsicle. The freezer's melting. It's working. They're melting all over the place.
Now
Have
that is a kick-ass impression of the Wolfman. Mom.
And he was eating a banana popsicle too.
And
It
he
was
was eating
yellow.
popsicles
It makes me
out of
want to
it.
have a banana popsicle when I see
That's
that.
right. And here, there's a big, beautiful world out there, see. And here I hear him sitting, sucking on popsicles.
Now, do you know what they call popsicles in England?
Chalk ices?
Popsicles, slush.
No.
Melted slushies are
Ice lollies.
ice lollies.
I learned that from my good friend Joe over in England there. Well, because we're on the chats all the time. And she's like, TC, are you having another ice lolly?
Ice lolly.
Ice lolly.
Ice lollies.
Get your adverbs here.
Lolly, get your adverbs here.
Lolly, get your adverbs here.
I remember on a Monty Python sketch they were selling chalk ices.
Chalk ices.
Yeah, and what flavor is it? It's albatross flavored. No, he was selling albatross instead of chalk ices. What am I thinking? Monty Python.
Albatross. Yeah, I
What
remember that.
flavor is it? It's seabird.
Bloody seabird flavor. No flavor at all. Albatross.
Does it come with wafers?
Of course it doesn't come in any bloody wafers, you... It's a seabird. Bloody seabird flavor.
It depends on which version of that sketch you watch. The swears get a lot more graphic.
I realize that. You know,
Monty
like,
Python, the whole Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl, you get you get the curse words
The
in
C
there.
word.
But do you notice in that like he was walking, like when he was selling the albatross, he was walking by somebody that was smoking weed, and John Cleese turns his head and says,
You're not supposed to be smoking that.
And the whole place, I remember that. The whole place went crazy. That's a riot. So it's popsicles.
For me, it's popsicles.
Not now. What do you think? There's a difference between popsicle, Italian ice, and freeze pops?
Yes.
Yeah.
Popsicles are popsicles.
Popsicle.
Italian ice
Because they're not made like with a...
with a stick.
Yeah, and plus part they had the original ingredients like a popsicle's supposed to have.
Maybe, I don't know. I just know the popsicles are my favorite. Italian ice. I like it, but remember when the summertime when you used to have it, but then you got the bottom, all the syrup was melted and your fingers get covered and it's like
flip it over.
It's a goo all over the place.
I heard a description of that I can't even repeat.
It's something that you see in a Ron Jeremy movie. Let's just put it that way, all right? And the spoon was,
I'd always have
Flimsy.
metal spoon. Yeah.
very flimsy.
That,
So what was the other one there?
You got a freeze pop, the plastic tube where you put them in there, freeze them.
Oh, you mean the liquid, and then
Or
you put them in there?
flavor ice or whatever.
Yeah,
they
flavor
call it.
ice. There you go.
Do you know why I don't like those?
why?
Okay.
Swallow the plastic one.
It cuts this corner of your mouth on your lips right here.
Well, how were you
true,
going on
that's
that?
true.
It was a hot day. When you try to push the thing out, and it cuts you. I don't want any desserts that hurt you, all right?
I get you.
Yeah, when it gets down halfway, you're sucking on the thing.
There you go. And then at the end, you have to tilt it up. And,
Yeah.
But if I had a choice
Yeah.
of all of the things, my favorite, summertime cool down thing would have been a cannonball.
Oh, with the
Orange sherbet with the gumball at the bottom.
Yeah.
Those were awesome.
Those were. I remember those. They can't find those anymore.
Yeah, they made. So I got to stay with the orange
I would think
popsicle.
if you look
That
hard
wasn't
enough,
called the
ice cream
push-up?
trucks.
The push-up bar?
Oh, that was a good one.
Quincy, you're not wrong. You know what? You're probably right. An ice cream truck would have that.
If you look hard enough, just look online. There's plenty of ice cream trucks right
I'll have to
now.
look.
No, that's your homework. We're gonna when you get your new bike, you're gonna follow ice cream trucks around.
There you go.
And you're gonna see if they have cannonballs.
Remember the push-up
right.
though? That was a good one.
I'll do
the
it.
push-up bar.
In
and,
Southie, they had a thing with the push-up. If you the stick was a clown, you could redeem it for a free push-up.
Oh,
next
the
time it
push-up
came
thing
around.
with like that. It looked like a
Yeah.
firework
Looked like the
container.
toilet paper roll.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
around here it was an alien. It was a little pointy-eared
Yeah,
alien.
we had clowns in Southie.
And the stick was like a lollipop stick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Push it
I
up.
remember those.
It was like chocolate swirl ice cream.
Yeah,
Vanilla
okay.
with like fudge swirl.
Now I
in
want
it.
one of these things.
That's
Yeah.
another classic summer thing. Ice cream in the summer.
Yeah.
Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream for ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Chocolate,
slush.
regular and soft serve ice creams. We were just talking about this earlier. I was.
Well, I was, but because, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give up my favorite Ben & Jerry's. Well,
Yeah, what the hell, huh?
yeah.
Why
well,
do you have to give up Ben Jerry's ice cream? I don't
Because
get
it's too bad for my teeth. I recently was eating some of their Maricone Dream. Or there's just so
you
much
eating Dusty Rhodes?
sugary, waffly, sugary frozen goodness. So much frozen waffly, so much frozen sugary goodness. It's just terrible for your teeth.
Yeah.
And I was eating some ice cream and I swallowed a piece of my tooth. Didn't even know it.
Ooh.
So, I'm going to have to cut down on the Ben & Jerry's.
Well, can't you just use the other side of your mouth?
Well, I suppose I could.
When that happens, though, you get skeeved. That's
No,
it.
no. It's ice cream, right?
Yeah, but I lost a tooth on oatmeal.
Okay, but it melts in your mouth, ice cream.
Yeah.
You're not chewing it.
Well, the little bits.
Yeah,
Oh, the
that's
little-
what I'm saying.
oh,
There's
the-
chunks of sugary,
Gotcha,
chunks
gotcha.
of frozen sugary waffle cone and stuff like
Ooh.
that.
It's so funny you mentioned Ben and Jerry's. I said, wow, Jeff's going hard for the politics tonight because they just came out and said we shouldn't be celebrating 4th of July. We should be putting in a program to give the land back to the Indians. Ben and Jerry, the corporation, they hired a group.
And of course, what state are they in? Vermont.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we'll start with your homes.
Does Bernie Sanders fund them?
Bernie Sanders' buddies there, Cohen and Greenfield. Why don't
Okay.
we start with their homesteads? We'll give those to the Indians, and then all the factories that make Ben and Jerry's, we'll create the land for the Indians there, and then we'll get into it.
There you go.
But I was just like, damn, what the hell? Now there's a big boycott on Ben and Jerry's, and I like Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia frozen yogurt.
So Ben and Jerry's didn't start this story.
No, they sold the company to a British company.
Oh, so it's like
sorry,
Jordan's,
Joe.
It's like
but-
Jordan's Furniture.
Exactly. They're
Right.
just the figureheads, and they licensed this company to speak on their behalf on Twitter, etc.
Okay.
So they tweeted this out that we shouldn't be celebrating July 4th. We should be giving the land back.
You know what we think about that, Ben and Jerry? Nobody cares.
Stock up on that ice cream, Jeff, because it might be going away.
How
Looks
about
like
just
I'm going to
plain
have to give it up anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Stop and Shop ice creams, all your favorite flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Do you like those?
I'm not a big on ice cream. I like slush. I like Richie's slush. I like to go over on Revere Beach Parkway,
Right.
and get in line, and I get a large one with banana and root beer mixed.
Now, do you
It
get
is
that? You get
really
the headaches from the slush?
Well, you know what that comes from? when you sit the ice, whatever it is called, too long to the roof of your mouth. There's a vein up there supposedly. That's what
In your
freezes and
palate,
causes.
yeah.
But they say to obviate that. I've been dying to use that word. You press your tongue to the roof of your mouth and it'll go away.
Really?
Yeah. Try that.
I did
You'll learn
not know
something.
that.
Yeah, press your tongue to the roof of your mouth and it warms that vein back up.
Maybe there's some truth to this. When my Irish grandmother, I used to get cramps or leg cramps and whatnot. She goes, bite your bottom lip. I
remember you saying that
It
one
kind of
time.
went away.
Yeah, I got a leg cramp last night. Shit, I can remember.
Bite your bottom lip.
I'm going to try it.
See what happens.
Means you
it's
don't have enough potassium or hydration.
maybe it's all connected.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Now, did you like to go into like the convenience store and get the slush puppies?
I used to love the slush puppies back in the day.
What was your favorite flavor?
Probably the blue raspberry.
The blue raspberry, yeah.
That was my favorite.
Better than the cherry.
Oh, yeah. I'd always get the blue raspberry. And you know why?
The outlaw cherries.
You could get it when the baseball helmets.
Yes.
I collected all the baseball helmets.
Yep.
And they had a cardboard thing that you could put the helmets in the standings. I used to get up the paper, read the paper every day, and put the helmets in the order of the standings.
Sure, I remember those
cool.
like yesterday.
What a childhood we all had.
Oh, it was great.
That
And
was-
you know what? And I hung that on my closet door on a hook. There was a hook coming out of the closet door, and it was like it came out from the wall maybe like 3.5 inches because you would fold the cardboard together and have these slots for the helmets, and it was decorated and there was writing on it. And underneath that, because I had 3 sisters and I didn't want to take any abuse, but underneath that was the Farrah Fawcett poster.
The famous Farrah Fawcett
So when
poster.
when my family would go out, my mother and my sisters would go out, I'd take that down, I'd put the record player on, I'd sit there like I was Hugh Hefner and look at my poster. And then they'd come back and I'd put it back up again.
I know.
God forbid they should find out I was heterosexual.
I had that. I didn't have the Farrah Fawcett poster. I had Playboy centerfolds and
But you
whatnot.
couldn't hang them up on your wall, could you?
I had them hidden under a Star Wars
See, there
poster.
you go. See, that's...
I'll never.
I bet you, Jeff, you and all your brothers, you must have hung them right out in the open.
Well, yeah. Well, like Samantha Fox was big in my house back in the day.
Yeah.
I want to have some fun.
That's true.
But see, my family, because we were mostly women in my family, they would shame me when they saw that.
I bet if you went in their room, they'd have a picture of John Travolta somewhere.
geez. You know what? And I'll tell you right now, you know what I used to read that got me through puberty was their damn Cosmopolitan magazines in the bathroom. You go in there and I'd be like, holy, you didn't need Playboy back in those days.
No, you
Trust
didn't.
Me.
You had-
Trust me.
You know what else was actually good back in the day? The
Glamour.
the celebrity section in the National Enquirer.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, this
yeah,
is
yeah.
what such and such
Yes.
is wearing. This.
Yes.
And it's like, when you're like 13 years old.
See, people don't know. Back in the day, you couldn't just dial this up and
No.
see. You had a hunt for it.
You had a hunt for it. Oh. Now, speaking of that, I was talking to my friend Nathan over in England. Have you ever found porn in the woods?
Of course.
How? It's a worldwide
The
phenomenon.
best porn is found porn. I'll say it till I die.
So, but who left it there?
Some guy who knows. He's like, you know what? Why just throw them out?
But it was all over the world.
Yeah.
This guy, he lives in England.
Yeah.
And he was talking one time when we used to do the Twitter spaces at like 2 in the morning. He goes, DC, did you ever find wilderness porn?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
He goes, magazines were all soggy from the rain.
From the rain.
From the rain.
Yeah.
And I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a worldwide phenomenon. Now now that we have cameras everywhere, I don't know if they do it anymore. We got to find out who's actually doing this.
Yeah.
Was it the porno companies doing it so kids could find it for advertisement?
I'll tell you, I grew up knowing what Penthouse and Playboy were.
Sure.
And then a little thing called Hustler hit the stands and everything changed. That was a different... You didn't find too many hustlers in the woods, but you always found Penthouse and Playboy.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody threw out their hustlers. Those were keepers.
Start spreading the news.
I want to be a pirate. New York, New York.
Want to hear a funny porn story?
Absolutely.
This is, people... Most of the people listen to the jukebox. I don't know how many of them listen to this, but at any rate. So back in the day when video cassettes became part of the culture, VHS tapes, in South Boston there was a video club you could join. I think you had to pay $100, and you could rent anything for $1 a day.
Anything.
And they had X-rated films.
In the back, or is it in the photo
It was
album?
out in the open.
Really?
Like you could go to just this one wall, okay?
The wall.
But the thing was, these had become such a big part of everyone's life that everybody wanted to know what you're renting. And at the time, they only had maybe 25 different movies, and I know one of them was Cuckoo's Nest, and just different things like Revenge of the Nerds had come out and stuff like that. So I remember renting my first porno. It was called RX for Sex. Prescription for Sex.
Okay. Who was in it?
I don't even remember. But I remember the second one was Pleasure Hunt with Ginger Lynn. That was better. Okay. But I'm coming home now. Because you had to do the same. You had to do
Emphasize the word coming home.
You had to rent. If you got your porn, you had to get the porn cassette. But you also had to get a regular movie.
Of course.
To cover it up. Because you're not a total perv, right?
Okay. I used to do the same thing.
So I think I got Lepke, which I never watched.
Lepke?
Lepke. Lepke. And RX for Sex.
What was it? Lepke?
I don't even remember, but the
Never
guy,
heard of that.
the guy at the store said, "You want to see a good movie?" This is how he talked. "Hey, you want to see a really good movie? Okay, have you seen Lepke? Have you seen that?" I said, "No, I'll check it out." So I'm like, all right, that's perfect. I got Lepke now. Now I can go get my RX for Sex and get out of here. And you could tell he was a little bummed out because then he knew that was just.
He's not going to watch this.
It was like $1 a day. So
And how old were you at this point in time?
I had to be maybe 18, 19.
Okay.
You know, so, but the guy. I think they kind of just looked the other way.
They didn't care.
They really didn't, unless you were a real prick about it. But so now here's where it gets interesting. So now you're walking home. Now all of a sudden I realize that everybody in Southie knows those brown boxes. You're from Iron 8th.
Right.
And all they did was stamp the date on it that you took it out. Mm-hmm. And then they would check the date you came back and they would charge you those days. So there was no title. It was just a brown box with a white card in the sleeve. So I'm walking home and who comes down the street but, what was her name? Mrs. Curran. Lived next door to me. I'm like, oh, Jesus, here we go.
Ricky, what's your rent?
Well, what'd you get from this sewer? And I said, oh, Lepke and Revenge of the Nurse. She goes, oh, that's so funny. My husband and I did. What's the other one? Lepke. And like she's looking at them like I'm going to open it and show it to you. I'll let you know how they were. Mary Jo, whatever the hell her name was. But I was like, oh, man, it was just so close. And then I would hide the porno, right? And then one day I forgot where I hid it. And I thought my mother had taken it. Because what are you going to do? I said, I
had to worry about that because mother didn't know how to use a VCR.
Well, but I thought like she found the film and took it. So now I'm like, I thought I put it behind the speaker of my stereo.
Oh, you're hiding it?
Yeah. So I'm like, if she took it, how do I go and ask her for it? Did you take my porno movie?
I rented Lepke. Do you have the box?
No, and if now think back, 1980 something.
Sure.
If you lost a movie, it wasn't like $19.
No, $100.
It was like $100, $150. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have that kind of. We're bagging groceries for Christ. And I'm like, oh my. Then I remembered I put it somewhere else. I was like, oh God.
See, like I said, my mother, God rest her soul, she didn't know how to use any technology.
Yeah.
So I could have left it in the VCR.
Right. Yeah.
And you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have hit
That
play.
would have been the safest place for it, to be honest with you. But that just. I'm trying to say, nowadays.
It's on your phone.
Yeah.
You could be sitting in church watching it.
But didn't it make it more gratifying?
It did.
When it's found?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But just having to get it and like go through that whole process.
It was an adventure.
It was.
Now, I used to go to Harvard Square.
Oh, my God.
Not for the VHSs, but for the magazines.
Yeah.
So I would go to Out of Town News. Remember that place?
The best place.
All right. They had Out of Town News from everywhere. They had magazines from all over the world. So
I know where this is going.
I would go there not on a weekend because it's too crowded.
Yeah.
I would go after school and get on the subway on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday when there's no one around, right? Just people are going home minding their own business and whatnot. So I'd walk into Out of Town News and I'd stroll around. It wasn't a very big place. I'd stroll around and I'd like casually grab a magazine of anything and just look at it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I had to have seen you in there.
You probably did.
We got paid on Thursdays, and I used to work out down on Western Ave, so I was probably in there watching. Just like, what's this fucking kid walking around while I'm trying to grab my porn?
What I would do is they didn't cover the magazines.
Nope.
They were just up high.
Yeah.
They were just up high on the rafters there. So the first thing I'd do, I would grab a wrestling magazine.
There you go.
All right. And have Hulk Hogan on the cover and whatnot. Then I would get Starlog magazine, the sci-fi magazine.
Sci-fi.
All right. And then I would start scrolling through. I was a big Playboy guy.
Yeah.
I loved Playboy, especially not just the magazine, but like the special editions.
Oh, of course, summer special,
the college girls, the lingerie, ones. And then I would move over, and there would be the penthouses and the clubs and the
Nave.
the hustlers and all that other stuff.
Gent.
What was it? OUI?
Oui.
I didn't speak French, so I thought, what is QUI? What's Quai?
Yeah, I thought it was Oi. I thought it was a Jewish porno when I first looked at it. Oi magazine.
So,
Ready to see what's in here.
I would get them, and I would wait for people to leave.
Yeah, of course.
If there was like an old lady or a young girl in there, or even just normal people, I had to wait until like an old guy or like a homeless person would come in. And I was like, it's like strategic. And I'm
Great homeless person came in.
I'm in this place for like 45 minutes, just getting 3 magazines, and I would wait and strategically look, and then no one there. And the guy who was selling or worked there was always an old guy, or some guy who had Ripple under the counter who didn't care,
Who did not care.
didn't care. And I was under the age of 18.
Sure.
Okay. So you're talking like 1986.
I'm telling you, I think I remember seeing you.
87. So I would go up to the counter, and I would have the wrestling magazine on top, the Starlog, and then the Smut. And they would just deep. Then they would look at it, then look at me, look back at it. Didn't say a thing. He just went like slower than the other ones would go. Deep. like he's going to say, I can't give you that one. And then, you want a bag? Oh, yes, of course I want a bag.
Those thin paper bags.
Yes, and I never looked at them on the subway.
No,
I couldn't, because in case it's their bag ripped open. But
the whole idea is
all
to
the
get
way
it
home,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, I can't wait to look at that magazine. That one's, did you see her on page 14 when you? That was the key.
That was the hunt.
That was the hunt. And then you get home, and my mother would be cooking dinner. Where'd you go? Where'd you go to Harvard Square? Did you get any movie posters or anything? I did. Some Star Wars stuff. It was great. All right, when's dinner? Oh, in like 20 minutes. Oh, up we go.
There you go.
Honestly, and I didn't rip that one open first. I went through the wrestling one.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to jump into it.
And anticipated, it built up. And I said, okay, oh, wow, that's what's going on. Then the Star Wars one. And then it was like, and you thumb through it real quick. Ooh, she's ready. Ooh, look at her. Ooh. Dinner!
My cover magazines were Goldmine and Rolling Stone.
What was Goldmine?
Goldmine was a record collector's.
Okay.
It was one of the best magazines ever, and it's no longer in print. It was filled with stuff you could send away for record dealers, a guy that sold bootlegs and stuff. It was awesome.
What about you, Jeff? You must have a story.
Well, what, a porn story?
Yeah, how you got yours back in the day, before technology took over.
No. I went to the downtown videos, which were like when the combat zone was just shutting down. I was when I started going. Like there were a few stores left, but when I was walking the dog around Southie, around the block, I was walking Angus, brother's dog, and I looked in the bushes and I looked into it there was a purse, a woman's purse there, and I opened it up and there were 2 blank videotapes. Took them both home, and they were filled with porn. Just the weirdest stuff too. One was it was a collection of 70s S&M loops and stuff like that and everything. And then the second one, they got a little more Rockin' with Sika, which is the same porno that I bought when I met Sika. And then I dropped it right in front of, what's-her-face from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Marina Sirtis.
Yeah, Marina Sirtis, and she was, pick up your porn.
I remember that.
But, it's found porn is always the greatest, and it brings me to wonder something. What am I I have a collection of old porn. There was an episode of The Simpsons where they were throwing away all the garbage and everything, like the Garbage Man episode, and they would and Krusty brought out a box and it just said old porn.
Oh, that's right, old porn.
And they took it. We'll take it, never judges you. And he's like, but I honestly have literally a treasure chest of old porn videos and DVDs that I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with. Where the hell are they going to go? Who am I going to give them to?
Well, when record players came back. So
VHS is probably going to make a comeback.
VHS or definitely DVDs.
So what I'm thinking of doing is taking that big treasure chest and actually burying it somewhere.
Oh, a time capsule.
Just go in the woods and leave it somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone else next generation can find it.
Yeah,
our buddy the Jackal.
Looking at their phones.
Our buddy the Jackal, who was really into porn.
Oh, was he ever?
Whatever happened to his collection after he passed away?
You know what? You know what he was smart. You know what he used to do? he used to take the label off the VHS and put different labels on it.
Oh, that's too confusing.
So he would take it off. Debbie Does Dallas, for example, and he would put on it episodes of The Simpsons, and whatnot. So I can only imagine after he passed away, his relatives. Well, when he passed away, VHSs were gone.
Yeah.
So there's probably no VH. There was no VH. But he used to have. Oh God, he used to have a stack. I'm talking like to the ceiling of movies. He would go to this place called Avenue Video in Malden.
Okay.
And on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, it was Buck Night. All right. And what he would do is he wouldn't copy the whole movie. He would, I go, what is it? Because this is best of compilation 3.
Yeah.
He would just sit there. I would take the best scenes from the movies and compile them. I'd get the opening shot and the money shot.
What, did he have one of those double?
He had triple VCRs even before it was popular. God. So that's what he used to do. You know how people make custom music tapes?
Oh, yeah.
He made custom porno tapes.
Jesus.
All right? The guy was a genius ahead of his time.
Mixtape.
Yeah, it was his porn mixtape. And he had everything. I used to run this place, Laserdisc place out in Waltham. It was called Instant Replay.
Oh, I remember that place.
All right?
I worked near there.
Upstairs was Laserdisc. Downstairs, porno heaven.
Yeah.
And I was there getting Laserdisc one day, and all of a sudden I heard someone downstairs, you got that? I went downstairs. The Jackal had a shopping carriage filled with smut.
That's not cheap.
And he worked for his collection. Let's just put it that way. He had so much of it. I mean, it was like, okay, I'm a fan of some celebrities in the industry and whatnot. He didn't care. He had to have everything, everything. And then he makes his little mixtapes, and he used to give them away to people.
See, I don't think we're talking so much about the porn itself. It's just what it was like.
Right.
Because it's all taken for granted now. It's just there.
Right.
And I don't know how parents can keep kids away from it.
I don't even think they're looking for it.
It's just amazing. It's just
they're too busy playing video games.
I hope so, because I'll tell you, you get desensitized. But I mean, back in those days, you couldn't get.
So you had characters like the Jackal and our good friend, I'm not going to mention his last name, Glenn, who out there. Because I
had those guys. I had regular guys like us.
I had to be a middleman for Glenn once. All right, this is ridiculous. All right, I don't know if you were there, Jeff, but Airwolf Chris, our director for the TV show, was there. We went in. We went to the stores looking for new releases and whatnot.
Sure.
Like everybody. This is back in like the late '90s.
Yep.
So VHS and DVDs was still, the in thing. Yeah. So the video store we went to was in this converted trailer. Right.
Over by King Arthur's.
Exactly. There? Yes. What was it? Moonlight Video, Midnight Video, whatever it was. So we walk in. And we've been there before, a bunch of different people always going in there. Hey, I need a new movie. I'm running low. I need a new release.
I need a release.
You need a release, all right. So we'd go in there. Glenn, I guess he was there quite a bit, and he must have saw me there with Glenn once or twice. And this guy behind the counter was right out of central casting for a person who would work at a smut video store. His eye dangled out of his socket, and he just reeked of cigarettes and really bad cologne. And he looked at me and he goes, "You know Glenn?" And I go, "Yeah." Well, tell him the eating videos came in. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he doesn't tell him they came in. I was like, okay. So this was right before cell phones were huge. So I went home and I called Glenn and I go, hey, Glenn, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hi, we're just down at the video store. Oh, yeah, did you get anything good? Yeah, but I think the guy's name was Max. And he goes, yeah, Max had a message for you. What's that? He goes, eating videos came in.
God almighty.
He wasn't embarrassed at all.
I tell you, I never went there.
Max with one eye. One-eyed Max. That's what we should have called him.
Oh, what drives people?
Yeah, I know. We were just talking about good old Scatman Crothers, and now that's what that's what they call that stuff now. Yeah, the scat videos. They used to be Scheiser videos, named after the Germans who created them.
Essen mein Scheiße.
Well, there you go out there.
Scat.
The clock on the wall is telling us we got to wrap up the program.
That's what it goes, Scat Man. What you
Quiz-
looking at me like that way for, bitch?
I'll give it that. This has been
That's the way I do.
a very, for real, most interesting night. about topics
And scat.
and scat. So
Ain't nobody jerking off nowhere, motherfucker.
maybe we should conclude with that. So we want to thank you for watching a very most interesting episode here.
S'mores.
I'll never
Screw
look
the
at
s'mores.
You think Glenn looks at s'mores a different way now?
I think they're delicious.
Marshmallow on them? I didn't try that.
And just remember, we never close.
Never close.